My name is Riley, and in the fall of 2016, my life took a turn into a nightmare I still can't fully wake up from. I was 24 then, living in a small apartment on the edge of Portland, Oregon, a city where the rain never stops and the nights stretch on forever. I worked odd shifts at a local diner, pouring coffee for truckers and dreamers, and I spent my free time with my two best friends, Sam and Tara. That year, the world was buzzing with the killer clown craze. People dressing up as clowns, lurking in shadows, scaring strangers for kicks. I thought it was just a stupid trend, something to laugh about over beers. But I stopped laughing when the clowns came for me. It started at Tara's place. She'd thrown a party to celebrate her new job, a loud, messy night with cheap vodka and a playlist of 90s hits. Sam, Tara, and I were the last ones standing, sprawled on her couch as the clock ticked past 2 a.m. I'd had too much to drink, my head spinning like a carousel, so Tara tossed me a blanket and told me to crash there. I passed out hard, the kind of sleep where the world just melts away. When I woke up, sunlight was stabbing through the blinds, and my mouth tasted like regret. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, groaning. That's when I saw it. A clown doll, about a foot tall, perched on Tara's coffee table. Its painted face grinned at me, with a red nose chipped at the edges and black eyes that seemed to follow me. Its tattered polka dot suit hung loose, and one arm dangled like it had been torn off and sewn back on. I blinked, my stomach twisting. It hadn't been there the night before. I was sure of it. "Tara!" I yelled, my voice hoarse. She stumbled out of her room, still in pajamas, her dark hair a tangled mess. Sam trailed behind her, rubbing his neck. "What's with the creepy doll?" I pointed at it, trying to laugh it off, but my chest felt tight. Tara squinted, then shrugged. "No idea. Maybe someone left it as a joke. You know, the clown thing's everywhere right now." She grabbed it and tossed it into a closet without a second thought. Sam smirked, muttering something about my hangover making me paranoid. I forced a chuckle, but I couldn't shake the unease. Those eyes, they'd locked onto me. 3 days later, I was back at my apartment, a cramped one-bedroom with peeling paint and a flickering hallway light. I'd just gotten home from a late shift, my uniform reeking of grease, when I noticed something off. The air felt heavy, like someone had been there. I dropped my keys on the counter and froze. There, on my kitchen table, was the clown doll. The same chipped nose, the same dead stare. My heart slammed against my ribs. I hadn't brought it home. Tara lived across town. There was no way it could have gotten here. I grabbed my phone and called Tara, my hands shaking. "Did you sneak that damn doll into my place?" I demanded. "What doll?" she said, sleepy and confused. "The clown? I left it in my closet, Riley." You okay? No, I'm not okay, I snapped, staring at it. It's here, Tara, right in front of me. She laughed nervously. Stop messing with me. Sam probably did it. He's got your spare key. I hung up and dialed Sam. He swore up and down he hadn't been near my place, his voice thick with sleep. You're freaking out over nothing, he said. Throw it out and go to bed. But I couldn't. I picked it up, its cold porcelain hands brushing my skin, and chucked it into the dumpster outside. My pulse didn't slow until I was back inside, doors locked, blinds shut. The next night, I came home to find it again, this time on my bed, my breath caught in my throat, a scream dying before it could escape. The doll sat propped against my pillow, its head tilted as if welcoming me. I stumbled back, my mind racing. Someone had been in my apartment. I checked the locks, intact. The windows, closed. I called the cops, my voice trembling as I explained. 2 officers showed up, a tired-looking guy named Officer Daniels and his younger partner, scanning my place with flashlights. No signs of a break-in, Daniels said, scratching his chin. You sure you didn't bring it in yourself? Maybe a prank? I threw it out last night, I insisted, pointing at the doll. It was in the dumpster. They bagged it as evidence, but I could tell they didn't believe me. We'll look into it, Daniel said, his tone flat. Call if anything else happens. They left, and I sat there, staring at my empty bed, feeling like the walls were closing in. Things got worse. A week later, my neighbor, Mrs. Carter, an old widow with a yappy terrier, knocked on my door at midnight. Riley, she whispered, her eyes wide behind her glasses. There's a clown outside your window. I saw him from my balcony, just standing there, looking up. My stomach dropped. I grabbed a kitchen knife and peeked through the blinds. Under the street lamp, a figure stood motionless, a tall, lanky clown in a faded costume, its face painted white with black streaks around the eyes and a red grin smeared across its mouth. It didn't move, didn't wave, just stared up at my window. My hands shook so hard, the knife slipped, clattering to the floor. When I looked again, it was gone. I called Sam and Tara, begging them to come over. They arrived 20 minutes later, Sam with a baseball bat and Tara clutching a can of pepper spray. You're not staying here alone, Tara said, her voice firm. We searched the street, but there was no trace, no footprints, no costume scraps, nothing. That night, we crammed onto my couch, the TV blaring to drown out the silence. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I found a note taped to my door. Scrawled in jagged black ink, it read, I'm watching you. My knees buckled. Sam snatched it, his jaw tight. This isn't funny anymore, he said. We're getting cameras. We installed a cheap security system that day. 2 cameras, one for the front door, one inside, facing the living room. I felt a flicker of hope, like maybe I could catch whoever was doing this. But when I checked the footage the next night, my blood ran cold. The clown doll was back, sitting on my coffee table, its head turned toward the camera. The footage showed nothing. No one entering, no movement. One frame it wasn't there. The next it was, like it had materialized out of thin air. Tara sobbed when I showed her. "This isn't normal, Riley. We need to leave." But I couldn't. This was my home, my life. I wasn't running from some freak in a mask. The encounters escalated. I'd hear tapping on my windows at night, soft at first, then louder, like nails on glass. I'd catch glimpses of the clown outside, sometimes by the dumpster, sometimes under a tree across the street, always watching. Once, I woke up to muffled laughter outside my bedroom window. I tore the blinds open, and there it was, inches from the glass, its painted face pressed against it, eyes wide and unblinking. I screamed, scrambling for my phone, but when I looked again, it was gone. Sam started staying over more, his bat never far from reach. Tara researched clown sightings online, her face pale as she read about the 2016 hysteria. Clowns with knives, clowns chasing kids. Maybe it's just some psycho jumping on the trend, she said, but her voice wavered. I wanted to believe her, but the doll, that damn doll, kept coming back. I'd throw it out, burn it, smash it with a hammer, and still it'd reappear, pristine, mocking me. The breaking point came one stormy night in November. Rain hammered the roof, thunder rumbling in the distance. Sam was crashed on my couch, snoring softly when I heard it. A creak from the kitchen. My heart stopped. I grabbed a flashlight and crept out of my room, every nerve on edge. The beam shook in my hand as I swept it across the dark. There, by the sink, stood the clown. Not the doll, the real one. It was placing the doll on the counter, its gloved hands deliberate, almost gentle. Its head turned slowly, the red grin catching the light. I yelled, waking Sam. He bolted up, bat in hand, as I lunged forward, flashlight raised like a weapon. The clown didn't flinch, just tilted its head, then darted for the back door. Sam charged after it, shouting, "Get back here, you bastard!" I followed, adrenaline pumping, rain soaking us as we chased it into the alley. It moved fast, its costume flapping like a ghost, until it vanished around a corner. We searched for an hour, soaked and furious, but found nothing. No tracks, no clues. When we got back, the doll was gone. So was the note from my door. After that night, the clown stopped coming. No more tapping, no more laughter, no more dolls turning up uninvited. The cameras caught nothing. The cops found nothing, and life crept back to normal, or as normal as it could be. But I'm not the same. Sam thinks we scared it off. Tara says it was a sick prank that ran its course. I want to believe them, but I can't. Every creak in my apartment makes me jump. Every shadow looks like that painted face. I keep the bat by my bed. The camera's running 24/7. Sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear that muffled laugh again, faint and far away. I don't know who it was or what it wanted. All I know is it saw me. It knew me. And even now, I feel its eyes in the dark.